It's Aleya Antoine. You're listening to Tease podcast.
Everyone loves the tease. Stop.
Don't get too excited. I honestly forgot how much I fucking loved cash. I love cash and I love getting cash from men specifically. I don't know what it is, but I just like, it just scratches an itch that needed to be scratched. Happy Tuesday, bitches, and welcome to Tease podcast. It is so good to be back with you guys. I am actually recording this when I was supposed to be at the Sexy Red concert today. The whole tour got canceled. I can't say that I'm completely mad about it though, because on one hand, I am a little bit upset that I didn't go and that we got the tickets and now I have to wait for a refund. It's kind of like I would have just rather have the money in the first place. But then also like learning more about like past things that she said and whatever, I was already kind of questioning like, should we go or not? Because I didn't really find out anything till after I had already purchased them. So I'm just taking this as a sign from the universe that the right thing happened and it took care of the decision for me. But instead of going to the concert, I am doing something even more exciting. And that is I am going to work. And by going to work, I mean that I am going to work and I think I need to be there in like maybe 2 hours. But the podcast comes first because the whole reason why I got a new job was for you guys. And basically, that is me breaking the news that I got the job. I know that I had been telling y'all, guys, I don't know what to do. Job hunts suck and all this stuff. And I'm here to tell you they do fucking suck. But after countless interviews, I did it and I have a new job. I was interviewing for different positions and I knew I didn't want to do anything that took too much mental activity because with doing the pod, I'm already putting my brain into that. So it was like, I need a mindless job. So what it came down to was service industry or working at a fitness place. And the reason why it came down to those two things is because service industry, I have experience in, I know how to do it, and I know that you can make great money fast if you're in the right place. But I wanted to do the fitness route because honestly, guys, I have not worked out since like episode 2, maybe. Like it's been a minute. And that is because since my base access expired when Kai got out of the military, I could work out at my apartment, but the gym honestly isn't up to my standards. I am picky with my gym because here's the thing. To me, yes, I like working out, but if I'm working out in like a bootleg ass place, it feels more like a sweat lodge than a gym. Like I want to be able to see the views. I want to take a cute mirror pic. I want to feel like I am in the middle of a TV show and I'm like running, you know what I mean? But I wasn't getting that anymore, so I just chose to not at all. And I interviewed at different places. I interviewed at Orange Theory and at my current job and like one other one. And Orange Theory taught me a lot about job interviews, which I'm going to tell you guys. Ask for what you're going to fucking get paid. Because I did the whole interview and I'm used to like when in Texas and stuff, the people tell you exactly what you're going to get paid. And that's exactly what the other jobs did here too. And the range had X to X, right? So it had like a $3 range. But the difference between $3 when you're getting paid hourly is significant. Because after like 30 to 40 hours, that can go to like 100 more, 200 more. And I had so much sales experience and stuff, so I just assumed I'd be on the higher range. And then I'm doing all the paperwork. There's nothing about the money. He didn't tell me anything. And then I finally am just like, hey, I didn't see anything in the paperwork about pay. And he tells me, that's because it's going to be this. Like he said it as if he got caught. So I end up declining the job and then I get an interview at a different Orange Theory location And he asked me, hey, I know that you got a job offer at the other location in the area. I just wanted to ask like about that. And I was like, oh, well, based on my experience, there was a range listed and I thought that I would be on the higher end. He offered me the lower, so I had to decline for financial reasons, right? And he was like, okay, well, that pay is standard for both of ours. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so why is there a range listed for pay if you're only going to offer one of them? Like, why is the range 17 to 20 or to 19 or whatever, but you are only paying 17? He's like, well, that's commission. But commission was already listed as one of the benefits. So, this is me telling you guys, ask for what you're going to get paid, especially if you're like a girl or like a minority. I think that you need to build that confidence and that bone to ask, because money is like such an awkward conversation, which I don't know why it's an awkward conversation when it's the only reason that people fucking work. It's the only reason that you get a 9 to 5. It's the only reason that you get a job that you don't really want to do is for the money. So why is it awkward to ask? I don't know. And I was in that same boat, and this is me telling y'all to go ahead and ask. But on a more positive note, the job that I ended up taking is a serving and bartending position at a golf course. It's so crazy because I've always kind of wanted to work on a golf course after I've seen the TikToks. But last summer, I had applied to like pretty much everyone in the area and no one called me. So it was pretty exciting to get this one. I have to say, like, I was scared that it was going to be like this super like uppity vibe, you know what I mean? And just like, I thought that I would feel so out of place. But to my surprise, maybe it's because it's Washington, maybe it's just that specific course, but I have felt so at home. The people are so friendly. I will say the tips are good and everything. And yeah, it's been such a vibe. And I honestly forgot how much I fucking loved cash. I love cash. I love cash, and I love getting cash from men specifically. I don't know what it is, but I just like, it just scratches an itch that needed to be scratched. And it's crazy because the reason why I was like so hesitant to go back into serving and bartending was because in Texas, it had just left such a bad taste in my mouth. So I used to work at Hooters, and then I worked at Twin Peaks. And let me tell you, the tips were great. But the customers, fuck. Like, they were either really pervy, which, like, expected, right? But I think the other thing that they were was rude. And I don't know if it's because it was Texas people. I don't know if it's because a lot of people would bring, like, their girl in, too. And it was, like, not on the vibe where it's like, oh, my God, I want to be here, too. It was more like she would end up being rude to us. And the weird thing was that I will say about that is that it was never people like our age that would really do it. Like if a 20, 30-year-old came in with their like man, with their girl or whatever, it was always so much fun. I would end up getting along with the girl so well. It was like the 40 and 50-year-old couples that are like being so rude to girls that are half their age. I don't know. That whole thing just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like the amount of shifts that I had cried at, like it was one of those things to where the amount of money that I was making when you combine the labor, the hours, and the emotional state that I was in, because these were like 8 to 10 hour shifts, I worked for every fucking penny. So I was so hesitant to go back in. And then I got the offer and everything. I started training and I love it. But one thing that was so crazy was that, okay, so I have a shit ton of serving experience, but bartending, my experience is a little less. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. So I would say that my bartending experience has mainly come from watching the actual bartenders as a server, and then the very few times that they let me get behind there and help out, which was not a lot of them. And then I bartended like 1 or 2 brunches in Washington as well, which was mainly like mimosas, espresso martinis. I bartended the Hooters golf tournament, but like honestly, I could count on probably 3 hands the amount of times that I've bartended for over an hour. And I told him that when I interviewed, I was like, hey, like I can bartend, but like my serving experience is definitely more. But they were like, no, like, we trust you or whatever. So I got scheduled for bartending too. And I was like really excited, but like I was sweating. I told my mom about it and she was like, good fucking luck. Let me know how your shift goes. You are brave. And I was like, oh my God, someone's gonna ask for a drink and I'm not gonna know how to make it. Like, guys, when people tell you to like fluff up your resume, I don't know how people lie about what's on their resume, because this wasn't even a complete lie. I was very honest, but even the fact that I had the audacity to offer myself for that, I was like, oh my God, I am out of my league. So I'm about to get on my shift, right? There's people coming. I'm getting the hang of it. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm rocking with it. This isn't too bad. I had my training. I get it. And then the golf course that I work at, they also host like weddings and different events like most do. And for some reason, with Washington weather, a huge dust storm blew out our entire patio. The patio just goes flying. We're all watching like, and we're like, fuck, okay. So there's a wedding going on, and the wedding was supposed to be outside. So they ended up having to delay the wedding, and I kid you not, the entire wedding came into the bar. And I don't mean the wedding party. I mean the guest, the officiant. I met the groom. I met the person putting on the wedding. What is it? Like the officiant, right? I met the mother of the bride and groom. All of the guests, their extended friends. Like, there was over 80 people inside of that restaurant, and there was one bartender. Aleya Antoine, on my first fucking shift. I swear the content does not make me search for it. The content finds me, because what the fuck? Guys, it is like swarmed. It is like people after people. And the thing about this wedding party that was different is that you could tell that it was like a mid-sized to big wedding, because the other guests didn't know each other, which meant they did not give a fuck if I was making John's drink. They want their drink. And so they're like, me. And then they are asking for, I'm making martinis, old fashions, Moscow mules. I'm making trash can punches, wine glasses. Like, I didn't even have time to second guess what recipe is what, because it was crunch time. I was under pressure. I was sweating in my little polo, and I got the job fucking done. But it was definitely crazy. But what I will say is that I am thankful for, I am not nervous to bartend. I am bartending after this podcast. I am walking in with my shoulders back, my chin held high, and I'm going to kill it. But would I do that all over again? No. Can it happen all over again? I wouldn't put it past the universe. But I definitely think that this job has just been like good for my mental health, because it's like you go out and you socialize with strangers. And since the strangers are a lot kinder than they were at my old restaurants, it's like been really good to like, I don't know, like I like talking to people, and I think that sometimes only talking to like your close friends isn't enough. Like, you need to socialize with strangers too. And then I also think that it's like easing the pressures of like money and all that stuff. And like the thing is, when you have like psychological noise going on, which basically means that like there's other things that you're stressed about, right? So like I could be working on the podcast, but maybe I'm thinking about money. Maybe I'm thinking about getting a job. Like, when you have like those back of the head things, it affects everything else that you're doing. So I feel like it's gotten me to the point to where I can go to work, right? And that's the money. When I come here, when I'm home, I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about money. I'm not thinking about making a new brand deal. I'm not thinking about making a new content deal. If it comes to me, it comes to me, but I'm not like putting in all that elbow grease, you know what I mean? To like make it happen, and like just jumping into like campaigns and that kind of stuff. So it's definitely been good for that. And I think that it's like been really nice to like do a job where it doesn't really matter about like your looks. Like, I will say that like obviously there's still a lot of like male golfers, but like they're not focused on your appearance, whereas like Hooters or Twins, like that's what you're marketed for, you know what I mean? It's just about like the surface. And so like I was really nervous because I've only done hot girl jobs since I was 18. Like, I've only done jobs where no pants were allowed. The closest thing to pants that I got was pantyhose. And so I was like, fuck, like, am I going to be able to do this? Is there still money? But I think that it's been good because while it isn't like a hot girl job, I would definitely say that this is like a cute bitch job. It's a pretty bitch job. It's a low-key bitch job. Like the makeup that I'm wearing right now, which is like so minimal, I'm literally just wearing mascara and blush, is all that I go in. And that's why I wore it for this, is because right after I wrap up this recording, I need to hurry up and put on my little tennis skirt and my little polo and go and slay it. And yeah, it's been so much fun. And as a reward to myself for getting a new job, because I definitely believe in treating yourself and your accomplishments. Like I feel like if you're not going to get a gift for yourself for getting a new job, for graduating school, for what's the other thing that you could do, for fucking getting a new apartment, if you're not going to get yourself a gift, who the fuck else is going to get you a gift? And when I went in, I was like, okay, I know that I need a water bottle because, guys, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Pretty much any restaurant, they're giving you sink water. I'm not lying. Like, don't get water at restaurants. I don't drink water at any restaurants unless I am like thirsty as fuck. Get something from the bar. Get a fucking fountain drink. If not, if you want your purified bottled water, maybe it's the Texas in me because I have heard that Washington water is very safe. But even in Texas, I'm telling you, a lot of restaurants, they are just pouring your shit from the sink that they wash their hands with. And for my gift, I knew, okay, I am a bitch who drinks water. So I was like, I should get a Stanley cup. Do not judge me. Do not turn this off. I was like, should I get a Stanley cup? I have been so resistant to Stanley cups for fucking years is because, one, I felt like they were overhyped. Honestly, I thought that they were like only for white girls, which I just like didn't think that I should have a Stanley cup. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I saw the SNL episode where they were like, big stupid cup. And I was like, But then I was like, you know what? Maybe they kind of are a vibe, right? But then when I was looking up Stanley cups, I remembered in high school when I used to sneak wine and liquor into my senior year of school, we would fill up our hydro flask with the alcohol. I had like 3 hydro flasks. What do you want? You want water, vodka, or rosé? I shouldn't say that. But I was like, should I get a hydro flask or should I get a Stanley cup? Because the hydro flask came out with a new one that resembles a Stanley, but it's a hydro. So I'm like, guys, is this just me? But when I am going to make another purchase, it doesn't matter how big or how small. Online shopping in general takes me eons, years, millenniums to pick out a fucking option. Like I was going into a Google deep dive. Like, what is the best cup to get? What is the best size to get? What is in the materials of this? Like, I am going on Google. I am reading articles. I watched 5 YouTube videos. I am on TikTok. Stanley versus Hydro. Like, I am researching each of these cups individually and then looking for comparison videos. And when I tell you that this took up my entire Saturday, I was supposed to like make the description and the thumbnail for episode 10. And I didn't do that till Sunday because all of Saturday I was like knee deep in research about what cup was better. And then I also had to find, well, what's the cheapest option? So I'm going on Poshmark. I'm going on Marketplace. I'm going to their official websites, looking at the coupons. I'm going to Amazon. I'm like, what are the different options that I could get? And I'm listing out the colors and their price range on my notes app. Guys, is this a mental illness or is it just me? Or is it all of us? But like, there has to be something low key. Like, there has to be something wrong with me. Maybe it's the perfectionist thing. Maybe it's a control thing. Maybe I actually do have ADHD. I don't know what it is. But I was going down a complete deep dive. And this is not the first time that I've done that. This was not just a Stanley versus Hydro situation. Whenever I online shop for clothes, it takes me 5 hours minimum. And you may think, oh, well, it's because you're trying to budget, right? No. If I'm doing like a brand deal and like the clothes are all free, right? I am still like, what are my options? I make a whole cart. I put together different things. See, what is the best bang for my buck? But I also want the best things. Like, it is actually ridiculous. And the problem with the research that I did for the Hydro versus Stanley is that I was inconclusive. I didn't know which one to get. So what did I do? I took to fucking Instagram. I'm pretty sure I lost a follower from this, but I put up a poll and I put, which cup is better, guys? I put a picture of the pink Stanley, a picture of the pink Hydro, because I narrowed it down to my color wave that I wanted. And I was like, please vote. Please vote. And then I decided to be even more fucking annoying. I am like posting on my story as if I have 10 to 100K followers. All 3K of you guys. This is so embarrassing. Like, I'm actually reflecting and I'm like, why the fuck would I do the most on my story? Oh my God. Okay. I'm like rethinking life right now. But I make a talking story and I'm like, guys, please help me. Which one's better? I need you guys' help. I asked Kai and Kai was like, I don't see the difference. And everyone voted, not everyone, but the majority of people voted for the Hydro Flask cup. It is the newer one. And I heard that the Stanley cups do have lead in them. I honestly don't know what that means, but I heard that it's bad. And so, can you guess which cup I went with? If you're not watching, I need you to watch so you can see how cute my cup is. Ta-da! I got a Hydro Flask, and not only did I get a Hydro Flask, I got the straw topper, I got the coaster that goes at the bottom, and I got a charm on it. And the madness didn't stop there because once I ordered the cup, I was so excited. I was so thirsty, so hungry for it that then I go on Pinterest and type in Hydro Flask pink tumbler. And I am just binging pictures of people holding the cup in aesthetic places. The UGC creators are going insane because who the fuck is taking these pictures? Who is just taking aesthetic pictures just holding their cup? I don't know, but I was one of the consumers for an entire day and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait till I get to wear that cup. Yesterday I brought it to work and some of my coworkers were like, oh my God, Aleya, I love your cup. And you know me, I tried to play it cool, tried to play it nonchalant, and I was like, really? This whole thing, yeah, I just got it. Thanks. But inside, I was like jumping for joy. I was like, say it again. Say it again. I want someone else to compliment it. And honestly, I cannot wait to go back into work today and sip on it. And I hope someone else says how much they like it because I finally understand what emotional support cup means. And for your mental health, for my water, for my hydrated girlies, get a Hydro Flask. This is not sponsored. Honestly, I should charge them for like this promotion. This was a good ass story. But one thing that really solidified how I felt about this cup is that when Kai was on the phone with their 11-year-old sister because it was her birthday, I don't know what exactly they were talking about, but she brought up Stanley cups and she said these exact words. And I know this because I recorded them. She said, yeah, I can't stand the bitches at my school who try to act like they're trendy, but they walk around with their Stanley cups and you know damn well that they live in the suburbs and are probably trying to get over their parents' divorce. I heard that and there's two things I would like to say about that. First of all, thank fucking God that I'm not walking around with a Stanley looking like I'm from the suburbs, sad about my parents' divorce. But the other thing is that she is 11 years old and it's not her that's talking like this. It is the entire younger generation. And that is because me and Kai, we went on like this bike ride by the waterfront. And it's basically like, imagine a golf cart, right? but instead of like it being electric, you pedal it. So on Sunday, I got off early after that whole bartending fiasco. He was like, do you want to stay longer and help bartend for the wedding after? One thing about me, I need to be told that I have to work. I need to be scheduled because yes, I should have stayed. I could have made more money, but the first offer of, would you like to stay or go? I'm leaving. Isn't there like a TikTok like that? Like I was like, I'm gonna go home. Yeah, no, I'm going home. I was like out of there. I was only there for what? 3 hours, an hour and a half of that was the rush, and I was done. And I was like, okay, I want to work out, don't want to go to the gym, don't fuck with that. Let's do one of the bike rides. So me and Kai were on our little bike, we're pedaling. And I remember being on it, like, I think the last time we went on was like a little over a year ago, and everyone was on it. It was such a vibe. This time we went probably in like the evening on a Sunday. We're pedaling and we have to ring the little bell because people are walking, right? And you don't want to just pedal over someone's kid. And last time we did that, there was no issues. Everyone was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. But this time when we went, it was mainly like middle schoolers and it had to be like young high schoolers, like sophomore to freshman and that kind of stuff. And they were so mean. It was like every time that we rang the bell or pedal past them, it was like a group of 8 girls and then 8 guys just stared at us and were like, oh my fucking God, are you kidding? Like I literally heard them go, again. Oh my God, they're passing by again. It was just so shocking because first of all, why are you standing in the middle of the sidewalk? But also, I remember being their age and I would have been dying to go on the bikes. The first thing that me and my friends would have done is been like, who has their driver's license? So that way we can all do this. Maybe it's because of they're like the generation to where like they were young when COVID happened and they've grown up with like viral social media, you know what I mean? But they were judging the fuck out of us. And the funniest part was that all of the other people in the golf carts were in their 20s. All of the other people in the golf carts were like our age, and the people who are making fun of us on foot are like the little high schoolers. And let me tell you, it hit me. Me and Kai thought that we were so funny. We were doing wheelies and like pedaling around while listening to Glorilla, and these kids are like, oh my God. Like they are judging us. I felt like the old ass bitch who isn't cool anymore. And I'm only 22. So like what? Does that mean that if they're aging fast, then that means that the rest of us are aging fast in comparison and we're basically like old people now because now they're acting like they're our age. So that just bumps us up to the 40-year-old spot? Oh my God. I don't know. All I know is that when she said the comment about the Stanley Cup, I just knew that her opinion was not her opinion, but it was an entire generation's opinion. And I'm so glad that I avoided more stares. Because let me tell you something. If you told me, I don't know, make a TikTok or something in front of a group of like 20-year-olds, okay, whatever. If you told me do it in front of a bunch of like 12 or 13-year-olds, no way, Jose. I cannot, and that will never happen. But aside from those things, some feedback that I got on my last 2 episodes was about how people liked how I talked about the actual job hunt because I know that it's a thing that we are all going through. And so one thing that I want to give y'all is unconventional ways to make money when you're in your broke bitch era. Is this an Operation Tease? I don't know. I guess it could be an Operation Tease. Play the music, I guess. Unconventional ways to make money when you're in your broke bitch era. Here's the thing. I know that at this age, a lot of us are really either struggling with money or we're struggling with the idea of money or we're really working to save money. But all I know is that at this age, money is plaguing us. And here's the thing. Whoever said that money doesn't buy happiness must have been rich because one thing that it buys is comfort. And I wouldn't say that I'm like broke or anything, but in January, I made a solemn vow to myself. I solemnly swear that I will not touch my savings for the sake of moving. My savings has been pretty much non-existent to me. It is untouchable. I am still in Washington, so I cannot touch it, which means that I had to figure out ways to bring in income, to bring in extra cash flow. And guys, when y'all listen to this podcast, I am able to see your age ranges in full transparency. So I know the fucking demographic that is listening, and I know that y'all could use this, because here's the thing. Either you're still working your way up, maybe you're working on saving, maybe your parents help you out, but at the end of the day, it's not yours. You still want to establish yourself, right? I know that money is something that is going to plague us all for at least the next couple years. And one thing that I have gotten really good with is random ways of making money. I want to give y'all some ways that y'all are going to be able to do this and make quick cash when you're in your broke or saving bitch era, because it's not something to be ashamed of. A lot of us don't have help coming up. Like for me, I would say my history with financial things is that I'm very financially smart. I have a great credit score, but that wasn't because I learned it from school or my parents or anything. I kind of learned it from just being in the real world, because I've been working since I was 16. So the only things that I really have had help with financially was my grandmother did help me with school and rent my first 2 years. And then Kai's Army sub took care of our rent for these couple years. So those have been kind of the help that I've gotten. But as far as everything else, that's been all me. And so I want to let y'all know how you guys can make money. And it doesn't need to always come from a 9 to 5. Trust me, if you are like, how the fuck do I pay this bill that's coming up in 2 weeks? I'm going to give you a fucking list of instant cash that you can get. First of all, the first thing that you're going to do is go through all of your cards and figure out, what the fuck are you subscribed to? A lot of us have subscription services, apps. Maybe you have Face app. Maybe if you're in school, you have Chegg, Grammarly, Chat GPT. Look at your subscriptions and find out what is charging me on a monthly basis. Because when you're in this era, every dollar counts. $7 is not $7 anymore. You know what you could get with $7? You could get Chick-fil-A. You could buy a new shirt at the thrift. There's a lot that you can do with $7. I think the charms on my water bottle were $7. So you have to start thinking about things in the dollar, which sucks, but it's what's going to help you. So go through your cards, look at your subscription services, and cancel anything that you do not need. Because also the way that they get you is they charge you every month. So yeah, it's $7, but they're doing it for 12 months, right? You're ending up paying, what's 7 times 12? I don't know. Okay, let's say $5 times 12. That's $60. So 7 times 12 has to be somewhere in the 80 range, I think. I can't do quick math. But yeah, another thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to only purchase things when there is a promotion or a sale going on. So let's say you really want dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, right? I'm using this as an example because it's happened to me. Okay, well, if I go to the Cheesecake Factory, I'm going to have to sit in, pay for all that, right? And then tip, because we are not unethical in this bitch. You need to tip when you dine at a restaurant, but that all adds up, right? I see that DoorDash is having a promotion for free delivery and 30% off your first order. So where did I get my Cheesecake Factory from? I didn't dine in. I ordered it through DoorDash and I ended up paying way less than I would have if I went in. So you are going to want to only buy things when they are on sale or when they are having a promotion. A great thing that I like to do is I have the Honey browser extension. So I turn that on and it will literally give you sales on every website that you're at. Even if it's 10% off, that takes off the taxes, that takes off the shipping. Another way that you can do this is on Amazon. Do not buy the brand new thing that you see on Amazon. If you scroll down a little, you'll see Amazon renewed, used like new, used very good, used good. And that is how I buy all of my big purchases on Amazon. The way that Amazon Renewed works is a lot of people return things that they buy on Amazon. And that is because Amazon is all about impulse purchases. And so people buy stuff and then they realize, okay, maybe I don't want it. Maybe they get a gift and they return it, right? So Amazon Renewed is just those returns. And I'm going to give you a fucking trick. The used like new option is a new product. It is a new product that maybe doesn't come with the original packaging, or it does come with the original packaging. It was just opened and like taped shut, or maybe it's missing like one instruction manual, but the actual product itself is new. So like, for example, my hydro flask was worth, I think like $42. And then on Amazon, the discount on Amazon, it was at $36. Guess how much I got my hydro flask for, because I did use like new? $25. That is how I got my Shark cordless vacuum too. It was supposed to be $100. I got it for 60 fucking bucks. Amazon renewed is your go-to thing. Another thing besides Amazon, shopping on like Facebook Marketplace, shopping on Poshmark, shopping on those resale apps is a great way to do it. Thrifting, I know, has become very popular. I am not a good thrifter personally, but if that's what you like to do, that's what you like to do. I personally also don't really thrift. It's because a lot of times the prices that they have at thrift sales nowadays, because like a lot of shops have become very gentrified, is the same prices that you could get new clothes on if you just shop at the right time. So now let's get into ways to actually get cash, to actually get money. The first way that you are going to do this is by selling your old shit. Selling your old shit. And I don't mean a garage sale or a yard sale that's going to take forever. The way that I like to sell things is, first, I put together everything that I don't want anymore. Whether it's purses, perfumes. Think about it this way, nothing that you have is not worth something. So I had this little rollerball perfume that I got like from a friend, and I fucking hated the smell of it. Normally, people would just toss it and be like, I never want to use it again. I thought maybe I could just list this on Marketplace for $10. Someone bought it. So the way that I like to sell stuff is I like to do first the stuff that I know is worth good value, like a Coach purse, a really cute shirt, boots from Dolls Kill. The first thing that I do is I list it on Facebook Marketplace. When you list on Facebook Marketplace, you are always going to want to be at a public location. Never have them come to your door. Never go to their door. For my meetup spot, I like to choose somewhere by the base because there's cops with guns there. So no one's going to pull any slick shit. But you want to make sure that you're going to a public place, and that way you're just maintaining safety, especially if you're a woman. And you're going to want to list everything that is worth value on Marketplace and sell it. The stuff that's listed on Marketplace that you've marked it down, it's not selling, and no one just in your area wants it, you're going to want to then list that on like Poshmark, Depop, eBay, some sort of reselling shipping app. The reason why I do this part second is because they are going to take out a portion of your fees, so you're not getting the full profit, and you have to go into the post office and ship it. But either way, it's still a great way to make money. After that, if it's not selling on the online apps, I then group everything together and I go to like your local Plato's Closet. In Texas, I know we had Urban Cheapskate, some sort of place where they just buy clothes that you give them. Plato's Closet, you know damn well is going to rip you off. They're not going to give you a lot of money, but at this point, this stuff isn't selling as it is. I actually just went to Plato's Closet, 2 bags worth of stuff, and I only got $15 for it, but it was worth it because I found Calvin Klein shorts and a Zara like ruffle top, and so I just like did an even exchange. And one thing that was really funny was that when I was trying on the clothes, I just like felt kind of like big, like I was like, I'm not toned anymore, like I just felt like out of shape. And I was feeling really self-conscious. And as I was going to my car, these 2 guys walk past, and I'm putting myself in the trunk, and the guy screams, "Hey, ma, whatever you're doing, keep it up, because it's working." Keep in mind, I went in sweats, no makeup. And normally I would be pissed off. Normally I'd be like, fuck you. Normally I would just be raging. But you know what? I was already feeling bad about myself. Thought I didn't look good. This was the one time where I let an unsolicited cat call just give me a confidence boost instead of driving me up a fucking wall. But you're going to want to then go to Plato's Closet. Whatever they don't take, I would then just put together like a huge bundle of clothes and then take a picture of it, list that bundle on Marketplace for like 20, 30 bucks. Because people like to buy bundles of clothes because you're getting like 50 things of clothes for only like 20 bucks. Boom, that's how you make money off of all your old shit. The next easy way to make money is going to be rewards points and rewards apps. So I am subscribed to every single rewards program that I shop or dine at. I get free Chick-fil-A. I take the survey. I get a free chicken sandwich. I get a free cupcake at my local bakery. I get a free breakfast sandwich at my local brunch place. Rewards apps are your best friends. Honestly, I think even if you're not trying to save money, why the fuck would you not want free food? Why the fuck would you not want free clothes? A lot of places, a lot of businesses nowadays offer rewards programs. I know on Pattern, the like curly hair brand, I got a bunch of points, right? And then I got a free leave-in conditioner, a full-size one. Make sure that if you're shopping somewhere regularly, why not take advantage of that as their loyal customer? And then if you have like some sort of credit card or debit card that has like rewards points and cash back, make sure to use that. Make sure to use your cash back. If you're low on money, go and see how many points do I have left. On the topic of cards, another great way to do this is a lot of credit cards. Like I know that my Chase does it. I think that my USAA does it too, and the Amex for sure. But a lot of banks do to where they are contracted with like local businesses. So if you go on your app, it will say like shop here and you get $20 extra cash back. Get gas on Exxon and instead of 5% back, you get 10% back. Take advantage of those shopping opportunities because maybe you were going to get gas at Valero, but if you go to Exxon, you get an extra $10 cash back. Boom, 10 in your pocket. So make sure that before you're also like making purchases, just take a quick glance at the cars that you have and see if there's anything extra going on. Like me and Kai were going to a WNBA game. I love women's basketball. Guys, I almost slipped up because the WNBA game was playing at work and I was like, oh my God, I love the WNBA. The girls are so hot. And then everyone looked at me and I have not told everyone that I'm gay yet. I don't know. I don't know. When I'm in new spaces, especially like I'm working on a golf course, like I don't like proclaim my sexuality on my sleeve. It's not that I'm hiding it. It's just that like I don't feel like it. Like I don't feel like coming out. You'll find out when you find out. If you follow me on Insta eventually, I don't think that I need to be like, by the way, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's like a comfort thing, but yeah, I almost slipped up. But anywho, back to saving money. Me and Kai were going to get tickets to the WNBA game and we were going to buy them from Ticketmaster like most people do. But when we went on my Chase card, there was a 20% cash back for, I think it was called like events tickets. And there was like some bootleg ass website. And we got our tickets from there because then we got $30 back. Ba-boom, cha-ching. This one I want to advise y'all be very, very careful with. Financially, this part takes a lot of financial literacy, takes financial smartness. It's going to be opening up credit cards and debit cards that have a promotion going on. So for example, when I got my Amazon Prime credit card, the way that I did it was because during Christmas, they were having, if you open the credit card, you get like $200 to start. And so that's how I bought everyone's Christmas gifts was just with that rewards points. I've never just done this for the hell of it. It's already been because I was in the market for a new card because like maybe one of my old ones wasn't as good as I thought it was. And so if you're going to open up a credit card, make sure that you're only doing ones that have like some sort of bonus or incentive. Like spend $300, you get $300 back. A lot of cards have money incentives when you spend money. And if you were already planning on spending that amount, then why the hell not would you get free cash back? And that takes obviously a good credit score and a lot of good money management. I can give advice on credit scores if y'all need, because I built mine up to a very, very sexy score. But another good way is with like, I know even with checking accounts, they do this too. Like I have the Amazon Prime one, which is through Chase. And then they have this offer, open up a Chase checking account, set up direct deposit and get $300. I got $300 from that literally just yesterday, started a new job, deposited it there and boom, Another easy way to like get instant cash, get an instant job is going to be the driver apps that we all know, love, and use. That's going to be like your DoorDash, Amazon Flex, Grubhub, Instacart, Uber. There's like so many nowadays. So if you're comfortable with one of those, signing up for one. I personally have only ever done Instacart. I would say 8 out of 10 recommend Instacart. I think Instacart is for the girlies. Again, literally this entire episode is not promotional, but I have actually met like so many girls that do Instacart as like a side hustle, which is actually crazy. Like literally on my first shift, a girl was clocking out and she was like, oh, I think I'm just gonna do like a couple Instacarts real quick. Another quick way would be doing grants and scholarships in your area. And so I think that a lot of people, the misconception is that grants and scholarships are only for schools. But that is not always true. When I started therapy, well, I don't go to therapy as much anymore. I actually don't go at all anymore. But when I was in therapy, I found this grant that basically was for Black women that started their therapy journey. You fill out a couple questions, tell a little bit about yourself, and then I applied to it, and then they actually paid for 4 of my therapy sessions. So like looking for different grants and scholarships in your area, especially if you have like some sort of minority, if you're first generation, if you're LGBTQ, if you're a woman, it could be a great way to cover an external cost that you have or to just get extra money in your pocket to help you out with your day-to-day life. If you're looking for the job route, I would say, of course, again, serving, bartending is going to be a great way to make quick cash. But it is easy to get a serving or bartending job, but it is not easy to get a good serving or bartending job. And that is because your tips depend on the area that you are working in. Do not work a serving job or a tip-based job in the hood. Do not work it in a like college just where only 20-year-olds go. Try to find one that is like in a good area. When it comes to serving, when it comes to bartending, the location that you're at matters the fucking most. You need to be in an area where people who are going to tip are going to go. This doesn't just mean that the people need to have money. You need to make sure that they are generous, because I know a lot of people that have worked in rich areas and they don't make shit because they're around people who are stingy with it. In Twin Peaks, there was 3 locations in San Antonio. I worked at first in a location that was a lot slower, and the people, they had money, but they were very stingy with it, and I did not make a lot. I ended up transferring locations to a place where it really wasn't as bougie. I would say overall the income status was lower, but these were people who are also very hard workers who were in different service industries such as serving, electricity, those oil field men. Like it was people who understood the value of hard work and the value of a dollar, and so they were very willing to tip you. But yeah, those are my unconventional ways to get some extra cash in your pocket. Trust me, they all work. Like, guys, I know that being low on money will have you do things that you didn't even think of before. Like, I'm not even kidding. I was trying on a tennis skirt to wear to the golf thing, and I was like, I walked in with a black one that I was wearing that I already hated, and I was like, what if I just switch these around on the hanger? Shit I haven't done since high school. So these were just some easy ways to get out of that era. Just let me know if you think of any other ways. Maybe there's stuff that I didn't think of. Please write it in if you know other ways to make quick cash, because I know that everyone here would love to hear it. Anyways, guys, it was so good talking to you. I have to get ready to pour up some drinks. Pour it up. Be sure to subscribe, rate, review, share this with your friend, and figure out how y'all are gonna tag team that extra cash. And I will see you next Tease Tuesday. I love you, bitches. I need some water after that.